I want to go to the gentleman. I'm not sure, with the short sleeve shirt and the sort of a dark, number 4. That exact gentleman is getting up there. Exactly. I want to get him out. He's been trying for a long time. And then I'm going to come to this. Then I'm going to come to this lady in with her hand up, with the blue shirt. You next.
In fact, Mr. Chairman, I haven't been trying for a long time. I just put my hand up. And I think this reflects. I have a serious question for you in regard to the way in which you are chairing.
May I ask what your name, please?
Oh, sorry. My name is Roger Moody. I am a shareholder. I have a question directed to you at the way in which you are chairing this meeting. You seem to be giving more latitude than any other previous chairperson of this company has given to questioners, which is good. It displays a kind of openness towards them. However, it is fast approaching 12:30, and I would like to ask you whether you have the intention of closing the meeting or pushing it towards its conclusion by 1 o'clock. Because to take your point about giving latitude to questioners who've come from a long distance, I know that there are people here who have come from as far afield as Papua New Guinea and California. So my question to you is, are you going to in fact give them exactly the same privileges to speak and address you as you've given to the previous half a dozen questioners?
Moody, your point is well taken. Thank you for the compliment at the beginning. I can assure you that actually by nature I've always been, I think, very approachable. I firmly believe in open communication, and in fact, as in particular this is my first AGM, I wanted to make it clear to people I'm not going to cut questioners short unnecessarily, because I just think it's unnecessary. But I think your point is well taken. I acknowledge we've been taking questions now for just over an hour, so maybe what I will suggest going forward, I'm going to take as many questions as we can, but maybe the questioners should keep their questions rather shorter, and maybe Tom and I should keep our answers rather shorter. So how's that? So can I now go to the lady in blue that I did say I'll come back to next?
Thank you. Buju, Jinakaz Nganiko Kwe, Nigegin Dodan, Keweenaw Bay Indian Community. I come here from Keweenaw Bay Indian Community in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. And it concerns the Eagle Mine by your subsidiary Kennecott Minerals Corporation. We are very concerned for the protection of Migiziwasan, Eagle Rock, which is proposed to be blasted into with dynamite for the trucks to go underneath the Salmon Trout River for nickel and copper and other precious metals. The design plan from our mining specialist has advised us that it's very, seems technically infeasible and very risky that this mine could collapse. And because it's in a sulfur ore body, there's a risk of acid mine drainage, and it's a river that flows directly into Lake Superior. So this is one of the largest freshwater lakes that is being put at risk. And Kennecott is asserting its ability to move full force ahead without the Clean Water Act. The Environmental Protection Agency, the federal government, the United States federal government did not even give them approval to go ahead, and they are asserting that they can just go ahead and start mining. My community has expressed that they're determined to defend Migiziwasan, and I want to ask you if you will please commit to not destroying our sacred place so that we can continue practicing our religion and reinforcing our relationship to the sacredness of Mother Earth.
Thank you. May I say to you firstly, I very much respect your question. I know that it's something you feel really strongly about, and I do respect that. I will say that one of the many positive impressions I've had since taking on this role in a number of parts of the world where I travel is that I'm really convinced that my colleagues really take seriously not just their environmental obligations, but actually their obligations to respect local sensitivities and to deal with local people as well as they can. I've seen that in many parts of the world. I've seen that in North America and also in Australia. And I think that's one of the things that makes Rio Tinto a company that we can all really be quite proud of. So turning specifically to your question, may I say I'm well aware, if it gives you comfort to begin with, as chairman of the board, I'm well aware of the issue you raised. I've discussed it from time to time with the executives. I want to give you the assurance that, of course, first of all, the United States has amongst the toughest environmental laws in the world, and certainly the state of Michigan has got really tough laws. We intend, of course, fully to respect those and to comply with those, and I will give you the assurance that whatever we do eventually with regard to the Eagle project will be fully in compliance with the best practice environmental rules applicable in the United States today. Tom, is there anything that you want to add?
Yep, thank you. It's an important question. I've been to Eagle, and after the AGM last year, when there were requests for us to visit Eagle, Brett Clayton, who was running Copper, who's here, visited Eagle and actually had a dialogue with the community and some of these very same questions. The new mining law put in place in Michigan in 2004, I think Eagle is the first project that was put under that permitting process. It was one of the toughest regulations anywhere in the United States. And as Jan said, the U.S. has very stringent regulations for new mine development. We have been basically going through each of the individual steps. We have been engaging with the regulators within Michigan. We have been certainly engaging within the community and all stakeholders involved. As a matter of fact, with the bedrock outcrop you're referring to, this is something that in the consultation we recognized that this was something of importance. And if you compare the current plans versus the original plans, you'll see that the portal location was actually moved away from the rock setting. And as a condition of the permit, it's basically we're required to provide safe access to that. And certainly we do look forward, and we've offered our opportunity to meet with you, meet with the tribe, so that we can understand better what your requirements are for consultation and access and safe access to the rock. So certainly we respect that. We have a permitted process. We've received the permits from the state as of March of this year. There has been some litigation, and we've basically respect the U.S. legal law, and we've taken it through that legal process. And again, certainly anything we would do would have to be within the conformance of any laws and regulations of the U.S. government.
The answer is not yes, that you will not commit to, will you commit to not destroying our sacred site and not destroying our water, because our water is more important to us?
A condition of the permits and all of the conditions that we've put would be to protect the air and the water and all the things that would have been part of that, and that is a legal requirement for us to comply with within that. And again, the permit itself, after consultation, includes moving it had moved the portal away from the rock.